Hi everyone, I'm so happy that you are here today because I am making my first live YouTube video, and I really hope that you enjoy this stunning view behind me. So here is Memorial Church, and over there is zoo and our huge forest in Berlin called Tiergarten. I call it lung of our city because it provides us with so much oxygen, and that's something what makes Berlin one of the healthiest cities for living, especially in the summer when the weather is so nice. I hope you don't mind I'm wearing sunglasses. I really enjoy sun, but I have super sensitive eyes, and I also have important messages to deliver to you. First of all, thank you very much for following me on this journey that I started last year. And finally, I'm making first YouTube video because I often get a lot of messages in my inbox, and they are really different kind of. And I would love to support you and help you on this journey to unlock your brain power, to have the best life you can have, and to become a best version of yourself. As you have maybe noticed, my account is not devoted only to fitness but also to mindfulness and wellness, which I strongly believe is very important to survive today, because we have a lot of stressful situations everywhere, at home, with friends, sometimes at work, and so on. And what I would like you to understand that it's not only about fitness, and it is aimed to moms, because moms are the most vulnerable group of our society. They went through difficult physical and psychological changes, but also they have so much responsibilities because they also bringing new human being to this world. And believe me, everything which you pour in that person is gonna shape him or her. So that's why it's very important to have enough support, to have right mindset, to have healthy routines, healthy lifestyle, because that's something what our children are gonna learn from us, and that will really shape their life. But this can be applicable to any other group, also to the girls or ladies who are not moms yet, or they trying to find their way still in the life and work, and to come into the contact with themselves, and also one day planning family, also for the ladies which are already grandmothers. So I think that these kind of hacks and advices are very applicable also to the male population, with some differences regarding female and the male energy. So it is more like ideology of life, what I'm trying to promote, because it has really some upper goal that you can become more resilient, self-confident, that you love yourself the most. It is not selfish, it is something you can provide for your family, and it is the best way of living, and you are gonna be then the best first for yourself, and then for your partner, for your children, grandchildren, other family members, being well at work, being intentional, mindful, exactly knowing what you are doing, what are your tasks, what is your project about. So you really should focus. And I have to say, in the age of multitasking, it's like super normal that we are doing several things at the same time, but that's sometimes also not avoidable. Like, you have to do it. I cannot tell now, like, I'm having 3 children, and I also have my 3 different projects. One is related to my main work, one is related to my older project, one is this my passion that I really love, to provide evidence-based informations for you and help people finding their way, because I think it's very, very important for our society to come in contact with yourself so you can follow your inner feelings, and you can simply make choices and you are sure that you are on the right track. But that multitasking is exactly something what takes us away from our own mind and soul, and we often feel like very confused, and we are not certain about our choices, and sometimes we even don't know what we want, but we know that we seek a change. And I really like your comments and also your feedbacks, because that's exactly what I want. I want that from you. I really want to help in a certain situations, and also it is a kind of new challenge for me, because it means I'm going through the same situations in the future, and it's simply like gaining experience. So I also, what I've noticed is that many people have these negative beliefs and negative self-talks, which is pretty inhibiting you from having a good life and being good for your family, friends, at work. And I recognize that in myself in the past, that I had some irrational fears that something's gonna fail or not gonna work well, or but I can tell you that most of these irrational fears, like 95% of them or even higher percentage, they are really not gonna happen. But it is something coming from our subconscious mind, and that's super important to understand that our mindset is pretty shaped from our subconsciousness. So you can actually have a great project, and you can have a great family. You can have you can maximize great conditions of your life with very actually simple brain hacks, exercises, new brain rewiring. And that's what I've said at the beginning, that it is very important and that moms have a huge responsibility, because you are literally pouring some of your thoughts and beliefs in the new human being. And at this moment of life, woman is really the most vulnerable, and she needs a lot of support also later. But let's say in the first years, the small human being is most dependent, and he needs a lot of attention, care. They cannot do basically anything by themselves. So at that moment, you are like divided person, and you putting their needs on your first place, which is completely normal, and that's what our hormones teach us. That's why we forget about some things often, because we are focused. And nature made it amazingly, and I think we should follow nature completely, but also we should be there as a society and as let's say the most perfect human beings on this earth, right? That we can actually provide good support and system for these kind of challenging times. So there are many questions, as I've said, I've got, and I would say they are very important and they are very precious to me, because that makes me feeling that I know what you have been going through. Often I get a question like, okay, I see your exercises, I see your mindfulness exercises and so on, but where do I even start? How do I start? And this is something what I'm gonna cover today, but also there are some other questions which in my mind require much more input, so I'm gonna make specific videos about that. For example, one very important question coming from one of you is how to manage caloric deficit while breastfeeding. So how to lose weight and not to lose milk, because that's super important. And in the first year, or someone decides for many years of breastfeeding, it's totally fine. You still want to maintain that milk supply and you would like to lose weight, of course. So I'm gonna cover that topic in one specific video. But today, first comes first, and I'm gonna explain you exactly what is the way of starting this journey. So first of all, I always suggest to every one of you who writes me messages in my email, my inbox. By the way, I'm so happy that my website started working this week, and actually it teaches me one new lesson, that I really can put trust in the people working for me, because I have like a big mission, vision, idea, but I didn't know exactly how every detail should look. And that's something you don't even have to have. Like, I really had trust in the people I delivered my part of my work, and I'm so happy how it looks. It looks like better than I could have ever imagined. So that's something what I like to point out, that you don't have to wait for the things to become perfect. You don't have to wait for the conditions to become perfect that you start your change. Of course, nobody can change anyone, and you can only lead by your example. You can inspire people, you can let them know that there are possibilities, but you cannot change them. And this is the first thing I would like to point out, that you don't need perfect conditions. As I've said, you just need one decision. You want to change, you want to be the best version of yourself, because let's say we live on this earth, we have a limited amount of time. We don't know how much time in the future, but we want to live every day as it best. And today I heard some video of the person, I think it was someone giving speech at Harvard University, receiving his degree, and telling people that he heard long time ago from a professor, that he decided to live every day of his life as it's the last one. So probability that something happens when you wake up, right, is huge, but you really want to put everything you can that day turns out to be the best day of your life. And you can simply ask yourself, what are the stuff I'm doing today? What of that I like, what I don't dislike, what I would like to change. And I always suggest to every one of you who write me messages, or I get emails from you, you can write me email if you have, or you can fill in our submission form at the website. So taking one notebook, I have actually several, but this one is, you can see the year, like 2023. I have many of them, and this one just fits to my bag, and I really like writing my thoughts and my intentions and my goals, because then you make your ideas alive. Then you make also some things which are sitting in your subconsciousness alive, and you make them clear. So that would be the first step, that you invest 10 minutes per day, even if you write a couple of sentences. How do you feel today? It is like small tracking, and I would say I'm someone with a medical background, so I was working almost 10 years in different facilities, and also doing a lot of research. And in research there is something called lab book, so you have to protocol everything you have done, because if something went wrong, you can simply look up your notes, and you can look up your protocols, and you can see what went wrong, so then you can fix it. But if you never track, you're never gonna see what went wrong. And this is exactly that. So we are able to do amazing commitments at our work, but for our working goals. But for ourselves, we often put us on the last place, which is for some moments fine. but in the long term it's totally bad. I have to tell you that, because how you treat yourself, it's exactly how other people is gonna treat you, and how much self-esteem you have and self-love you have, it's exactly how much love other people gonna show to you. So yeah, that is the first thing I would suggest everyone. And even if you don't manage every day, make it even as weekly rituals, like then you can spend maybe half an hour, but the better you track your progress, your failures, you're gonna come sooner to your goal and to the very good results. And this is really, I like doing that. I have to admit, I don't do it every day because I don't have time, but whenever I did it, it brought me so much insight, and so many things were clear. Like, I was asking myself afterwards how I didn't see it earlier. How can that be? So what I've heard from one scientist from Harvard University, he said that if you keep things like worries, whatever, negative thoughts, even like your positive affirmations and goals in your head, it's gonna stay like that. But if you find a person you can trust, or you write it down, then it's gonna getting better. If it's a worry, it's gonna be released. If it's a goal, I can assure you it's gonna be fulfilled. And I am really happy to confirm that on my example, that for the things I wrote down, they really became true. So that's something, because as I've said, my channel and my account are not only devoted to fitness. That's something from what we can start. And I would say that's the easiest way to start. I would say mindset change is something what is more difficult, because we have had a lot of inputs from our ancestors, relatives, and so on as we were children that we are not even aware of. And that's something that requires more work. And also what I've noticed in people is that they have a lot of resistance when they are about to experience a big good change for them. I've seen that, and again, it's explained by science, by neuroscience, that why is it difficult for someone when it's so obvious to start with some new idea or some new challenge or change? They don't do it because your brain used to and your body used to something that is already known for you. So even if it's some uncomfortable job situation, like imagine you are working somewhere, you are not happy, atmosphere at work is bad, you don't feel great, you don't go with joy to your work, but you still keep going, and you don't manage to sit down to summarize your data, to put you in your CV, and to start writing new job application until something really bad happens. Why? Because that's our comfort zone, something that we used to have, and that's something what is known to our body and mind. And simply when it's about change, you get slightly discomfort, which can progrediate. So it's gonna be, and you can then get negative self-thoughts like it's gonna be difficult to find new job. Here I have at least salary, I can provide for my family, I can do this, I can do that. Yeah, you cannot have everything. It cannot be perfect. Yes, you can have everything and it can be perfect, but if you believe so, and only one decision is making you far away from the life you want to have. And that's what I would like to really understand, that we can exactly like unlock the power of our brain and make manifesting anything we want to have. And one very important thing for the manifesting is actually that we are manifesting all the time. Just if you don't write it, if you don't know for sure what you want, then what's get manifested? Something what is sitting in your subconsciousness, something that you even don't know. And that's why we sometimes ask ourselves, oh, how that happened to me? I never even thought about that. if you don't make your brain busy with the things you want to achieve or you want to have, doesn't matter if it's healthy lifestyle, beautiful family with a lot of children, huge house, Rolex, Porsche, I don't know. If you don't make your mind busy with that, what you want to have, he's gonna find for him a job to provide you and give you what you don't want to have. And that's why it's very important writing down what you want and writing down how you feel and who and what makes you feeling bad and who and what makes you feeling good. So then you can bring decision. Do you want to keep those people in your life? Do you want to stay at that job that you don't like? Do you want to stay in that relationship where you are not appreciated? That's then your decision. But you have all informations in front of you, and this will actually help you bringing decision easier, and you are gonna feel more that you are on the right track. So I would say that these small rituals are very important. I call them like scientifically rituals. There is no talk about some magical rituals here or so on. I'm a deeply religious person, but there are like there is 3R rule that I heard from one scientist. It's called like reminders, repetitions, and rituals. And how you come to the ritual. What is ritual? For example, ritual is brushing your teeth. So for sure you're not gonna go to work or going to school or I don't know, going down to bed if you didn't brush your teeth. It became your ritual like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. And how you come to the rituals? By repetitions. You have to repeat and repeat and repeat. The same as if you are, I don't know, playing beach volleyball, as I like to play beach volleyball. And then at the beginning, like, you don't know exactly how does it work, what you should do, and then you have coach, he shows you. But after 1 month, you're gonna hit that ball correctly. You're gonna get a point, you know? And that's repetitions, right? Which leads you to rituals. And later, you're not gonna think about, oh, how I'm gonna hit this ball. You're just gonna do it, and you're gonna do it correctly. And how you come to repetitions, because let's say you might forget, for example, this is your thing that you should be a repetition. Reminders, that's another R. So reminders, it means like putting notes everywhere around you. Small notes like drink enough water, take enough protein today. As you do notes like pick up kid from school, I don't know, submit a tax declaration, whatever you have to do for state, which is very important that you don't get some fine, but other things for you are more important because your body and your mind remembers everything. And if you're not gonna maintain your body correct, then you're not gonna have a good quality of life. That's the truth. So you have 3R, so reminders, repetitions, and at the end it becomes ritual. So it will become a part of your life, part of new you, so you don't have to think about it anymore. And that's something what makes you good. Why we want good things to stack in our habits, because in the long term they are gonna improve our well-being, like our physical, spiritual, relational, intellectual, emotional well-being. And that's why we want to have good rituals in our routine. Another thing what is very important is to understand, because I'm going from this kind of objectives coming from you, I don't have enough time. That's a wrong statement, because studies show that nowadays we have more free time than 30 years ago. But we use that free time for mostly scrolling on our smartphones, like social media, reading emails. Then, I don't know, again, it's part of multitasking, right? And you have this time, but you don't devote it to the right stuff. And what I want to tell you, you don't need 40 minutes a day. You can start with the 10 minutes a day. And there I come to the point of my fitness exercises, which are aimed for moms because they are postpartum safe, but they are basically aimed for everyone because people should learn like basics. Many people don't breathe correctly, so breathing pattern is very important. Also like alignment, your posture is very important. And for that, of course, I invented short workouts that you can find on my Instagram account. So if you do every day like 10 minutes, it's gonna do amazing job. And that's again something what is science proved. It's much better than if you go once a week to gym for like, I don't know, 1-2 hours. Because it keeps you mobile, and something what is actually the goal of my exercises is mobility, it's functionality. You want to be functional, you want to be mobile. And I love a lot the sentence from my colleague yesterday that I've heard. So he's like, he can be fitness guru, like he looks perfect, he's medical doctor. But he told me like earlier, I would go to gym, like he's literally skin, bone and muscle. He's eating super healthy, like nothing you can tell. And he even visited one of my workouts, not one, many times he came, and it makes him like sweaty. He said it's not easy even for men, but actually it's more mindful. And what I love that he said yesterday that now he's going more intentional to gym. Earlier he would come and just did a bunch of exercises and different devices, and now he has a plan like what he is doing which day. So he took time, he wrote that here, I mean not here but in his notebook, and he's doing amazing. And that's the thing, like I would love you to do functional exercises that will make you feel good. First of all, you should feel good because not everyone looks the same. Some people are skinnier, some have more muscles. It's a different like how we look, but you should first feel good within your body, and then you should also look good because it's possible. It goes all together. You don't have to think about that. Of course, if you let's say don't keep your body functional and mobile, you're gonna experience pain, you're gonna experience like tension and the pulling effects and whatever. But the goal is actually that you feel mobile and functional with these exercises. And you can indeed do like 10 minutes and you can see tremendous change. And that's something what is called minimal viable intervention that I was already mentioning, and people who listen to me, they know about that. I did not invent that. I just use it in fitness because I think it's great, not only in fitness but also in mindfulness and anything actually. If you just take this 10 minutes and you take that just out of your vocabulary, it's not just, you're gonna have time for everything. So as I've said, minimal viable intervention is something which is like translational from engineering. It's called in engineering term is minimal viable product. It means product that is not perfect, but it works, it makes its function and you can use it. So here is the same. You don't need perfect conditions, you don't need gyms, so the workouts I invented something you can do at home. You can of course get like more load for you, which is of course advisable afterwards because you want to progress. Otherwise your body just gets used to it if you do constantly the same work. So you can get a more load with, I don't know, resistance bands, small weights, ankle weights and so on. So you can have your small home gym that you can even take sometimes, you can take it to your like trips. And then when it comes to routine, because sometimes you're gonna feel a bit lost without it. It's like part of you, like you are dressing, so you have to get dressed to go out, and you do once per day or once in 2-3 days kind of exercises to make you feel good. So you can use these workouts, as I've said, like 10 minutes a day, even 7 minutes. Like I wouldn't go under 7 minutes because you need a bit of stretching. That's also important. And what people also don't do is relaxation. So you need, of course, time for rest. The same as we have during the year, like we are working or someone is going to school or university, but then you have break and your body needs breaks too, and that's very important, that you can progress further because you can see things better and clearer after break, right? So these are like small hacks I wanted to represent to you, and for the people which don't know like how to start, where to start, I would say mindful moments for yourself, writing down stuff you want to have, you want to achieve, what bothers you, and so on. Also 3R rule, I'm now like summarizing after a big lecture with the students. I somehow love giving lectures, but you really have to be careful because it's also a huge responsibility. But I love working with these young smart people. They are really amazing. And yeah, and then we have like 3R, as I've said, and also minimal viable intervention as your mantra, let's say, for every day, for everything you want to do and you have been telling yourself so far that you don't have time for it. Yeah, so I'm really happy that you have been with me for this 30 minutes. I enjoy the sun. I really love the sun, and it gives me so much energy and feeling totally different in these summer days. Yeah, and if you want to hear more videos, stay tuned. I would really love that you all have a beautiful, fulfilled life with the good quality of everything you can have, food, people around you, to provide with a good energy, good vibrations. And yeah, if you currently don't believe in yourself and you think you feel stuck and you think you cannot do it, I want you to know that I believe in you, and I am very much convinced that you can have everything you want and you can be happy, because let's say it's our ultimate goal to be happy. Bye bye.